A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Eid edition of Midday Live, coming to you from our studio here at Adisanwe in Accra. I am Martin Nasiedu-Date. Let's settle for the headlines we have for you this afternoon. Now, the opposition National Democratic Congress still in jubilant mood after winning the keenly contested Asin North by-election. We will be live in the constituency for the latest. Also coming up, crisis looms as strike by tanker drivers over bad roads continue. Meanwhile, Association of Oil Marketing Companies urge government to intervene. And on the international front, Sudanese army declares unilateral ceasefire on first day of Eid celebrations. A happy Eid to all of you. Let's settle for the details of the holiday edition of Midday Live. Now we're starting from, of course, the fallouts from the very crucial by-election in the Asin North constituency, where residents of Asin North have spoken, giving James Jetchikwason the nod again to represent them in Parliament at the just-ended by-election. Pouring onto the streets in wild celebration, the youth say they do not even see any threat of imprisonment, and adding that that will not stop them from jubilating. My colleague Eric Maonaigbeta reports from the constituency.
And so pure ecstasy from constituent here at Asimbreku, the hometown of James Jetchikwason, after he was formally declared victorious in the by-elections here. Kamla Kluche is here with me as well, my colleague.
Well, you can't fault them. They wanted this, and this is what they got. But it's a strong signal that they are sending to the rest of the country. Whilst voting was ongoing, there was some level of road works. Irrespective of all of this, the people have thrown their weight behind James Jetchikwason. The coming days are going to be quite interesting. From Thursday thereabouts, James would be going back to court in as much as he continues to play his duty as an MP as well, because the House will be reconvening, and I'm quite sure on Thursday the Speaker would swear him in again.
James Jetchikwason at the Catholic Youth Center as well responded to the comments by the President and all of the controversy which has characterized his reign.
I believe in the rule of law, and I do things according to the law, right? And also I had the support of my constituent, all the people of Asin North, not just even Asin North, because people alone, my NDC fraternity, then I got people from even the other side of the aisle, which is MPP, who were supporting me. And the fundamental belief or value of legal system, you're innocent until proven guilty. So for him to say that, I think it's not a qualified statement.
For many of the MPs present and the bigwigs within the NDC, this will serve as a catalyst for elections 2024.
That's the assurance I can give them. And I know, come 2024, the three Asin constituencies, what has happened in Asin North is going to reflect in all the other two Asin North constituencies. We will make sure their vote counts and their vote will be collated. That I can assure you. James Jetchikwason is our colleague. He sits on our side. And we feel an injustice is being done to him. And an injustice to James Jetchikwason is an injustice to all of us on that side.
For the constituents here, though, it is absolute enjoyment.
It's a sweet day for the NDC family. We voted for Honorable James Jetchikwason in 2020 election, but the court wanted to tell us that we did not choose the right person or leader for the people of Asin North. Truly to be told, the people of Asin North have spoken again.
Since James Jetchikwason has won, we know that MPP is going to jail him. They should do that, and we are going to have another by-election. You have by-election 10 times, we will vote for James Jetchikwason. That's all what we want.
Of course, you just look at the margin, 2020 election and this current by-election. You see the margin, meaning that the people of Asin North have decided they love Jachikwesin.
For the National Communications Officer of the NDC, however, he has just one message.
Change is coming. Change is coming. Change is coming.
Eric Mawenagbeta and the rest of the team from Asin Breku here in the Asin North constituency.
Right, clearly a lot has been happening there. Let's, in the next few minutes, we'll also touch base with our reporters there to find out what exactly is the situation or the mood 12 hours or so after the declaration.
Martin,
so let's speak to Marina now.
Inches away from the constituency, really, where we are. We're just outside the shores of the constituency, where all of the activities and the likes have come to a close. The Asin North by-election. Earlier this morning, there's been a massive float of supporters of the NDC within the constituency. It started from the Praso area, where there was loud blasting music this morning as well, when the constituents, primarily NDC supporters, some of whom may be supportive of the NPP as well, because Success does have many friends, joining the foray in jubilant mode as they walked the long distance from Praso to Brekum, which was the which was the convergence point for the daytime fun and activities and dancing, as yesterday all throughout into late into the night at about 1 to 2 a.m. even when we left the areas, all the way into Asin Fosu, which is the Asin Central constituency. The supporters of the NDC were scattered all across in very jubilant mode and on top of their voices, really, as they celebrated that win. And many of them, like we've heard, say that it was a hard-fought victory, one that they worked really tirelessly for, and it is one that they will continue to celebrate for a long while. We've heard from the constituents, many of whom were in very jubilant mode, that they are supportive of James Jachikwesin and the fact that they believe in him, they believe that he best serves their interests, reason for which they decided to vote for him, and that if the by-election held 1,000 times, they will vote for him. Even just when we were coming, we stopped to also try and get some coconut as well, and the persons who were there within the constituency were telling us that, look, they've really benefited from this by-election. Some told us openly that he got 450 cedis as part of the inducement that came through during the entire voting process. He got 450 cedis and went to vote for James Kwesin. And so for him, he's really benefited from this by-election, and he's actually looking forward to the fact that next year, when the general election is held, they'll go look for somebody from, in his words, they'll go and look for somebody from Ivory Coast to come represent them, and then the law can take its course again, and then there will be another by-election. But away from a lot of the jubilation from these supporters and constituents, though, has been the conversation in the lead-up to the by-elections here at Asin North, had to do with the rapid development that was witnessed across the constituency, from the construction of roads to the completion of astroturfs, hospital projects and the likes. And the concern which was raised was that government was seeking to sway the minds of the voters to vote for Charles Opoku, who was #1 on the ballot paper. The government made the point that it is just a turn of Asin North because there have been contracts awarded all the while, and if the money is available now and these contracts were awarded somewhere 2020, 2021, what really stops them? It's not about the by-elections. That was a defense from the government. But today, we've made our way across a number of the areas where particularly road projects were being undertaken at. What we've seen so far is that there are no contractors on the road. The construction workers are not there. The heavy-duty machines, some of which were actively working yesterday, have been parked and are not working. In some of the areas like Breku in itself, yesterday when voting was ongoing, you could see some of the action from a lot of the heavy-duty machines. But that is not the case. If you're headed towards Kushia, there was a newly constructed road as well, the first layer on the road, which was put there barely just a little over a week ago. When we visited the area, the covering, what I won't want to call it asphalt covering, but the covering, the first covering which had been put on it by the contractors was beginning to make way, and potholes already being created on the road. And so for the constituents here, there was a question we put to them that the government said that this was not about the by-elections and that development, it was your turn to receive it. With their candidate not winning, how confident are they that the project will continue? And for many of them, they are expecting that the contractors will return to these various projects and see out the completion, because according to them, the government made it quite clear that this was not about the by-elections and they must see out the project. If they don't, 2024 is just some 1.5 years away, and they will await what message the government will return to them with to seek their vote. And so over here at Asin North, it's been all joy even up to this afternoon. The stalwarts of the many parties who are present here have all but evaporated. We've picked intel that persons in the NDC have already left. We haven't caught any glimpses of the NPP since the indication became really clear that James Jachikwason had emerged victorious. And so the indication we get is that a lot of them have already left, and the few who are left are also on their way out. For the Ghana Police Service, who are here in their numbers as well, we've seen them this morning, some in their FPU pickups already are on their way out of the Asin North constituency, and the remainder who are just mopping up really on all of the election processes are finalizing the last few bits of it. Then they can also make their way out of the constituency. And so that's pretty much it. And we ourselves will be moving out in just a short while to also head back to Accra. So from us here on the borders of the Asin North constituency, it's all ended. A winner has been declared, and life will soon begin to return to normal. Back to you in the studio, Martin.
All right, thank you very much, Eric Mawana-Agbeta, for that quick wrap of developments in the Asin North constituency. About 12 or so hours after the declaration of James Jachikwason as the overall winner of that very crucial by-election that got the entire political groupings in Ghana heading to Asin North. Now that it looks like everything is, settling down, what are the next necessary steps, especially in terms of the constituency and for the man in question, James Jachikwason? Let's speak to Dr. Kwesi Amache-Boateng, who is a lecturer at the Department of History and Political Science at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Doc, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. What are your initial thoughts on how the entire election process played out and the fact that the constituents have reiterated their position that they want James Jachikwason to represent them?
How the entire election process played out and the fact that the constituents have reiterated their position that they want James Jachikwason to represent them.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity, and let me say good afternoon to our viewers. The whole development has been very interesting indeed. And it's been really something that you want to use for a movie. Until the by-elections, some people felt that Asin North is an MPP stronghold, given the fact that previous elections have gone in favor of the MPP in both the presidential and parliamentary elections. And then Mr. Jachikwason can
Unfortunately, we seem to be having a slight technical challenge there in terms of the connection to Dr. Amache, but I'm hoping that he's back now. Doc, if you can hear me, okay, we'll try and get a proper connection to him, who just trying to analyze the aftermath or the fallout of the Asen North by-election, and then also going forward what that means for constituents, and how is that even a snapshot of what will happen in the 2024 elections when we move into those polls in December next year. We are yet to get a fine understanding of all of that, but definitely when we do get him on a better connection, we'll put these questions to him. All right, so let's see if we can get that connection. Doc, if you can hear me, so you were telling us about Asen North being seen initially as an MPP stronghold, but then James Jachikwesen seemed to have changed that narrative.
Yes. It came up initially, people won't believe it, but then the by-elections has consolidated. Actually, he stands out as a candidate that the constituents like so much. He comes with something that the NDC want to engage him and find out and possibly try to benefit, from that. Because irrespective of everything, or let me just put it simply as his predicament, the standing by him, the votes that just came out yesterday, is a testimony of the overwhelming support that they have for him. So definitely, he comes in with something new, which is, in fact, which has the possibility of changing the dynamics in the constituency. Okay,
now talk to us about what this means, especially for the upcoming elections. Is this just an outlier, just a one-off happening, or definitely this has a key representation of what is likely to happen in 2024 general elections?
Between now and 2024, in that particular constituency, I don't expect anything to change. If anything at all, he's not with the government of the day. I think he's sort of impacted on the constituency previously. And what we see now is the outcome of the engagement, what one would want to call a very constructive engagement has had with the constituency. I don't expect that to change. If anything at all, he has a lot of credit in his social account with the constituency. Between now and 2024, I expect him to even add to that and possibly build some sort of a similar support for their presidential candidate.
Right, and maybe finally, before you take leave of us...
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. So maybe finally, before you take leave of us, Doc, is this a statement that electorate, I should say, are making to the political class, both sides of the divide, that in as much as you give us goodies and T-shirts and money, we still are the ones that will decide who to lead us or govern us? Or probably this is just a one-off thing, it's not likely to repeat itself? All right, unfortunately, the connection to Dr. Amache seemed not to be stable, but thank you for speaking to us, Dr. Amache, who is a political science lecturer and historian as well. You're still watching Midday Live. If you go to our website, 3news.com, you'll get all the fallout and reactions that have come as a result of the Asen North by-election there. And also do let us know what you make of it. We'll be happy to share your thoughts on the very many social media platforms that we are on. So today is Eid, and happy Eid to all our Muslim brothers and sisters and all of you watching. Enjoy the holiday. Meanwhile, Preston Akufo-Addo says that government will continue to pursue strategic policies to set the economy on sound footing despite global challenges. He was speaking at the Independence Square to mark this year's Eid al-Adha celebrations in Accra.
President Akufo-Addo recounted the economic challenges the country is currently facing. He emphasized on effective policies by government to revive the economy.
It is this attitude and commitment by government that have enabled our nation to obtain an IMF program in record time. As you can see, we're beginning to navigate the turbulence, with our economy growing by 4.2% in the first quarter of 2023. The currency has seen some stability lately, and through the Gold for Oil program, we've seen the stability in the prices of petroleum products as well, all of which are helping to bring inflation down. Things are getting better and will get better, I can assure you.
He again underscored the education policies and commitment of government to promote interfaith tolerance.
I therefore encourage you to take advantage of our progressive policies in the education sector to educate your children, both male and female. Today, Ghana's ambassador to the United States of America is a Muslim woman, as is the Minister for Gender, Children, and Social Protection. So there is value in educating the Muslim girl as well.
Spokesperson for the National Chief Imam Sheikh Shaibu Arimiyao underscored the importance of the Eid al-Adha celebrations.
Oh Allah, I ask you to bestow your peace and blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, his household and companions, and all those who follow him on the path of righteousness till the day of judgment, companions whom Allah has brought together their hearts for the spread of Islam.
The Eid al-Adha is celebrated by Muslims to commemorate the revelation of God to Abraham to slaughter his son. The Muslims also prayed to see God's intervention for the country and also ensure peaceful coexistence. The National Chief Imam, Dr. Sheikh Nur Shaributu, sought God's blessings for the country.
May God bless the country and all of us. And staying on issues of Eid and the celebrations, I know that animals are, the unfortunate culprits of moments like this. Let's find out from Godwin Aserebah, who is at an animal market, to find out how patronage has been, especially in the wake of concerns about anthrax, somewhere in the background. Mr. Aserebah, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. Where exactly are you and what can you report in terms of animal sale?
All right, good afternoon, Martin. I am currently here at the Doki Butcher House in Nima. When you come to this particular place, and it's actually really popular here, where a number of Muslims come in here to either buy cattle or get them prepared. You are right to see here before they can take them home. We have been told that on the first day of the Eid al-Adha celebration, they only bring in their animals here to be prepared. Then the actual festive season begins tomorrow and tomorrow next. So it's actually a 3-day celebration. For those who are rich Muslims and are able to afford the expensive animals, they go for either a camel that you can see here. We have just one here, but there are quite a number of cattle here as well. So if you are unable to afford a camel, you go for a cattle or a cow, if I could say. Then from here, you can either go to a sheep if you cannot afford that as well. And we know that this particular celebration is to commemorate Prophet Ibrahim's, submissiveness to Allah when he asked that sacrifice his son. And this is the reason why Muslims actually commemorate this particular festive season. It's actually a really beautiful day here, I must say, because a number of people have brought in their livestock for them to be prepared ahead of the festive season, which officially begins for them tomorrow through to tomorrow next. At this particular point, you can clearly see that a number of cattle have been butchered. There's a man here who is actually, sliding into a goat cow. At this particular premises too, you see that there's, a pool of blood from a cattle that was slaughtered, some minutes ago. Yeah, so generally the mood has been really positive here. People are actually really happy that we are celebrating today to commemorate the Eid al-Kabir, which some people may call the Eid al-Adha festival. At this particular family house, we find a number of people who are also, cooking, preparing, the animals ahead of tomorrow, which they say that they will officially begin the festive season. Most of them are really excited. You can clearly see them too also hanging in their cattle that has been butchered earlier for the water that has been, put into the meat to be drained out. According to them, when they prepare it this way, as you can rightly see, some minutes ahead from where I am standing, it drains the water out of the meat and then later, fry it for some time and then share it among people who come in here. At this particular family house, it is called the Ida Doki house. And this house is really popular in Nima. Undoubtedly, we know that Nima is the biggest Muslim community you can find in Ghana. and Hajia here is the one in charge of this house. Earlier, we spoke to her where she told me that she's really happy about this festive season and she's grateful that Allah has been able to protect her through to this time around. Hajia, you know, Kasa first time I say, now explaining actually and say more reason into a more yes again. I didn't know more yes, so it's much.
And 2 years who I scata obey over to me. Only Scania by phone. Only who was cowbay, Ubeche, Ubema will be in your man.
Okay, so she's basically saying that it's part of the Muslim community to share among their loved one when it comes to festive seasons like this, and that's the reason why they are investing much into the preparing of the livestock, which and run what sort china mobile china bibia na modia chobi. But at internet edo other way moon chiche duane sa nyoma.
Oh, I will the duanisa. Ubaya po ni duani na unte. Ube open ni
and a bedi. Okay. So we know that when it gets to the Edo Festival, which is popularly known as the small salah, most of the Muslim houses or Muslim homes, you know, feast, they cook and share it among themselves together with friends. That's where you get to find people around workplaces, schools, asking their colleague Muslims that, or their Muslim friends that, oh, can you bring me some salah meat? But for this particular season, they don't cook the big salah, they don't cook, they only fry the meat and share it amongst anyone at all, Christians, Muslims, whoever you worship or whatever you believe in. The meat will be given to you to symbolize love. And that is exactly what they are doing. So at the far side of the compound, you see a group of women who are washing through some of the intestines of their cow that was butchered earlier, happily doing it together. Earlier, most of them spoke to me and told me that I should have come maybe tomorrow because that would be the exact time where they will actually be frying their meat, where I could have, you know, gotten some here and either brought some for you, Martin, inside the newsroom, you know, to have a bite and, you know, to have a good taste of how their meat feels. So generally, that has been the mood here in Nima, which I earlier said is undoubtedly one of the biggest Muslim communities you can find here in Accra. People are really excited at the butcher house. A number of cattle are still on standby, goats to be butchered, and this is to commemorate, you know, the Edo Kabir or Edo Ada, or what some will say the Big Salah festive season today, Martin.
All right, thank you very much, Godwin Aserebah, for that succinct report from Nima. I like the yemuadie, the towel. So bring some if you can. And to all our Muslim brothers and sisters, of course, you know what to do. We are in the season. Let's stay on the issue of the celebration and the outcome, the meat that is shared. The concern really has been the recent anthrax outbreak in some parts of the Upper East region, coupled with the economic hardship in the country. And this appears to be affecting businesses in the greater Tamale metropolis. Christopher Amwakum visited some of the beauty salons and animal markets and has come through with this report.
Last year,
all right, so we are trying to get that story lined up properly so we can find out what the celebration is like, especially in the northern part of the country, Upper East, Upper West, where we know that they're mostly dominant Muslim community, and how they are celebrating the day, plus the fear or concerns about anthrax.
Sika Samintana economy last year, many people be ha ewo abontin na ebia kuretiye na so
Eid al-Adha, also known as the Feast of Sacrifice, is celebrated to commemorate the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son Ishmael as an act of obedience to Allah. The euphoria that usually accompanies the preparation is simply amazing as people travel far and near back home to join their families to celebrate. During this period, beauty salons are mostly filled to capacity. However, it appears this year's preparation is not seeing the usual euphoria of complex hairstyles from women in the greater Tamale metropolis.
I've been here around 1 o'clock with my junior sister here, and this year's Salah, let's say things are going a little bit slow. I've been coming here, and last year's one was massive as compared to this year's own. Yes, like the economy has its effect on this year's Salah, but all is good, you know.
The high cost of hair products is affecting the business.
This year, I mean last year, dear. Make us say last year, we're seeing this year.
Last year was better than this year. Prices of hair products have shot up astronomically, and our clients cannot afford. Things are really hard.
Compare this year and last year. This year they are quite a papa.
The buying of livestock is one of the major activities that characterize the occasion. People from far and near usually troop to the Abu, Sakasaka, and Shishao livestock markets to buy their Eid animals. However, a visit to the Abu sheep market revealed low patronage. This is one of the biggest animal markets in the greater Tamale metropolis. Here is the Abu market, where a lot of people come to buy their animals, especially on this festive occasion. Both sellers and buyers were left dumbfounded about the prices of the animals.
See, I'm just confused because last year, the things that we bought 5,000, this year 9,000, 8,000, 10,000. It's not easy. In fact, it's not easy for us this year. Everything just go high. We don't know how to do, but inshallah, we will pay the seller.
For the sellers, the anthrax outbreak in some parts of the Upper East region is having a toll on the sale of the animals.
This year is better than this year. See, the last year, you can buy some ram this, you will buy 1,000 each. Now this one, you go buy 3,000 something. So if you compare, the last year is better than this year. I say that anthrax day there. So animal no go come from Boku to here. So because of that, plus those who are not beaches, you are going to take the animals and be outside and block the market. So they are going to buy high price. If you go, you don't go see them easy.
Because if they say anthrax or what, makes everything look slow. It looks like it's afraid for the people to buy the animals and kill. So I think this year we are not even enjoying this thing.
This ram standing here, according to the owner, costs about 4,800. This same animal, same time last year, would have cost about 3,000. This is an indication that this year the prices of these animals has actually shot up astronomically, and this has affected the business. Compare the prices. You have just bought one. I'm sure last year you bought as well. Comparing the 2 years, what would you say about the pricing?
Okay, actually, comparing the price now than last year, it's like this year the price has gone up. But there's hardship in the system. What we do? We need, but we don't have the money to buy. But what will we do? We have to manage, somehow. But things are hard. People don't come to buy because the money is too high.
Are you also scared about the anthrax outbreak?
Oh, to be frank, well, you see things to be normal. It's okay. It's okay.
You are not afraid that maybe the animals you are buying may have contracted the anthrax?
Yeah, we don't have such animals here, we've heard about a lot of them, but I don't think they are among our animals.
Despite these challenges, the thousands of Muslims here will still gather to pray to Allah with the hope of a better celebration next year. Christopher Mwako, TV3 News, Tamale.
All right, so may Allah accept our sacrifice, and may we all be blessed and enjoy this festive season going forward as well. Okay, so away from the Eid celebration and related matters, let's go on to some very crucial economic issue. So aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management are demanding answers from the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, for the institution's alleged inability to produce a server needed for an ongoing court case. In a statement, convener of the group, Charles Nyame, says that the server, which belongs to Gold Coast Fund Management Company, contains a backup data of its investors and was confiscated by EOCO after the company's operational license was revoked in November 2019. So we do know that this case has been in court for some time now, and the individuals whose monies have been, locked up in this fund management are asking government to immediately find ways of getting their monies released to them. But the issue has gone to court. A server needed for the investigation is also gone missing. That's what we are told. At least let's get details from Charles Nyame, who is the convener of the aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management. Mr. Nyame, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Right, so kindly unmute.
Good afternoon, Martins.
Great.
And thank you for having me.
Great. So briefly walk us through how come the server, we're told, is missing. What information did you seek from the server, and how come the EOCO is telling you that, well, unfortunately, they can't find it?
Thank you very much. It's all about the payment of Gold Coast Fund Management, which got locked up under the Securities and Exchange Commission through the government policy. That's the financial cleanup exercise that was done in the Ghana financial sector in 2018. We all know that prior to the financial cleanup exercise, the government gave a lot of promises saying that they are going to do that to protect investment of investors and deposits of depositors. It has been 5 years now, and Gold Coast Fund Management customers haven't received their monies, even though the parliament has already approved money worth 8.6 billion for our payment, as against total monies that the Securities and Exchange Commission asked the government, which is 8 billion. So it means that Parliament has even approved 600 million above the money requested by the Securities and Exchange Commission. But the government made a U-turn after these monies have been approved, and came to tell us that unless the government gets liquidation order that will aid the government to sell assets of Gold Coast Fund Management, these monies that are already approved wouldn't be disbursed. Now, the case of liquidation order was filed in the year 2020, around September, year 2020, for the liquidation order. And when the case was filed, Securities and Exchange Commission, through the Registrar General Department, presented a list of customers and amount of money the company, Gold Coast, owed these customers, and asked the court to give them assets, order to sell assets equivalent to these monies. And Gold Coast Fund Management was called and asked that, is it true that you owe this number of customers and this amount of money? And they said that we owe some customers, but to stand here on the face of this list on the sheet to confirm that we owe customer A or customer B on this list, we cannot do it unless we get a very original source of data of our client's investment fund for us to interrogate the list of names and the figures that is allotted on the names, for us to establish that, yes, these are the true reflection of the customers and the amount of money that we owe them. Then the court asked them that where would they get that information? And it is with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the EOCO. This happened when the Securities and Exchange Commission revoked the license of Gold Coast Fund Management and locked up all their offices and kept it under Securities and Exchange Commission's custody. Then subsequently, Securities and Exchange Commission ordered the EOCO to go and
then would like to also, know and kindly be brief for us because of time. So what next? Now that this data is not found, what next for you? What responses are you expecting?
Now, the court asked, we are telling the government that since the server was in the custody of government, and the government is telling the court that the server is missing, then we are telling the government that the government has no grounds to hold our payment to ransom with any condition of securing liquidation order before it can pay us. We don't care if the server is missing, because when it comes to establishing our figures, it has already been done through validation with that same server by the PwC. It is called that needs that server. So if the government says that it has missed the server, which is going to delay the court process which the government has used as a condition to our payment, we are telling the government that the government has no grounds to hold our payment to ransom. The government should go ahead and advance payment through the approved bailout package of the remaining 5.5 billion and disburse it to us. Or the government can also advance payment through the 15 billion stabilization fund so that peace can reign before we roar our anger on the government, because we have seen that this is a deliberate ploy of the government to deny us from our payment.
Charles,
meanwhile,
thank you
presented
so much
to the IMF
for making time to speak with us. Charles Nyame, convener of the aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management. Clearly, it's a concerning subject, and we'll see how it plays out and what responses government has regarding this in the coming days. Stay with us. We have many more stories for you right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo Paint. As compared to other paint brands on the market, we take equal quantities of Flamingo Paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo Superior Paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Who knows tomorrow? I've been living in Texas, you know. Bank. Our bank. Go union the same package. Secret no. My convera me trend the whole world. Me receive secret free all angles. You don't have to live here to get your money. Really? Just use ZPay. You collect your money here, spend it here without even getting out from this chair. How you tell that? Jimmy D, you got your token, right? Oh yeah, you can easily redeem the token by yourself straight into your ZPay mobile money wallet. Just dial *270#. Select option 7 for MoneyGram. Enter your PIN. Then enter your 8-digit token. Enter all the transaction details. After that, press 1 to confirm. Then check the confirmation message. This is your first time, you get 10 CDs cashback and 2 CDs airtime free. They didn't know about Ghana. Sawa.
For me, David, I have Franco Trading Enterprise at the Dabraka branch. About phones, near accessories, and in your make a nadia. What him say? Franco Trading Enterprise, number 1. Your television set from 24 inches to 65 inches. Air condition from 1.5 horsepower to 2.5 horsepower. Your CCTV cameras, Bluetooth speakers, your phone covers, protectors, pen drive, hard drive, iPhone, Samsung, Infinix, Huawei. It's a full beer open with Yasima Fanebia. Pura Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco Trading Enterprise. Phones papa, television papa, air conditions papa, accessories papa nina.
The TV3 and 3FM Great Expedition is here again. It's much bigger and exciting this time. Experience the breathtaking view of the ever-scenic Kafajato and the spectacular Wuli waterfall. Let's uncover the excitement around these mystical and extraordinary sceneries. Happening on Republic Day, Saturday, 1st July 2023. Come, let's make memories on Republic Day with the Republic Day Reloaded. We head to Kafajato as we hike hike to the summit, we visit a Wuli waterfall, and then we have a dinner and party at the Bamboo River Resort. This package includes transportation, breakfast, snacks, dinner, music on rotation, plus the whole experience, all for 650 Ghana cedis. For reservation, call 0541 159 715 or 0554 049 778. The TV3 3FM Republic Day Expedition. You don't want to miss this.
Sponsored by Heritage Christian College.
To some other stories now, petrol and LPG consumers should expect shortage from Thursday, the 29th of June, due to tanker drivers' strike over poor roads in the country. The Association of Oil Marketing Companies is urging government to prevent a potential crisis. George Queening has the rest of the story.
The strike by petroleum tanker drivers continues unabated. Experts say this is an economic issue that has dire implications. These depots here have consignment in them. In order to attend to the vessels, we need to actually lift the consignment in here to create space for whatever content the vessels are bringing. But that is not the case. The more these vessels wait, the more demurrages these depot managers pay. A demurrage is a charge payable to the owner of a charter ship on failure to load or discharge a ship within the time agreed. But how worse can this be?
The cost can be very high, and they can have even a daily rate that they'll pay. Could be thousands of dollars. That's not the only cost they will attract. They attract other costs as well. Because if you are within the ports, you also attract additional port charges.
The petroleum tankers transport the petroleum products from the depots to the fuel retail outlet. And whatever stock they have now can last for the few days. At what point does it become a consumer problem?
First 24 hours is like normal situation. The next 48 hours is going to be crucial. At 72 hours, we are completely dry. And that's where you realize that.
Oil marketing companies is worried about the strike and is calling on government to swiftly intervene to ensure the worst doesn't happen.
This one is not a business where you say that I've missed this one, I'm going to double the volume. It's not going to happen. People will just be prudent in using the fuel, and the quantity will dip, and hence government revenue, and then also our revenue. So it's not good for everybody.
GPRTU is highly concerned about the strike. Just imagine a driver going to the filling station and told there's no fuel, or even you that owns a vehicle.
Without fuel, all of us have to park. It will affect even foodstuffs. Because we bring the foodstuffs from the hinterland to all the regional capitals.
By now, you can sense that we are on a ticking time bomb. Tanker drivers are unwilling to transport petroleum products until their bad roads are fixed. Stocks of fuel retail outlets are waiting to get depleted. After that, what next? Your guess is as good as mine. Josh Quinnan, TV3 News, Accra.
Just watching Midday Live on TV3, the Eid edition. We are going straight into the world of sports right after this.
Well, let's get into sports news afternoon here on Midday Live on TV3. My name is Yao Ofosulabi. Now, in the upcoming Ghana Football Association elections, aspiring candidates may need to allocate 50,000 Ghana cedis each as the nomination fee if the proposal is approved by Congress. The Ghana Football Association recently issued a statement dated the 24th of June, signed by the General Secretary Prosper Harris-Senado, recommending a substantial increase in the nomination fee for presidential candidates. The proposed fee of 50,000 Ghana cedis marks a significant surge of 900% from the 5,000 Ghana cedis charged during the previous elections in 2019. Citing the mounting expenses associated with conducting the elections, including logistics, transportation, and accommodation, Ghana's football governing body justifies the need for the proposed fee increment. Right, so the Ghana Football Association, they're charging those fees there. But that wasn't the major news yesterday. I mean, the big news also was that the Black Meteors were given a bashing of a lifetime against Morocco as they fell to a 5-1 defeat at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium. Africa Cup of Nations. Ghana never got off the mark from the get-go as the game became a meat and drink encounter in Rabat. The Meteors will now turn their attention to the final group game against Guinea on July 30. Well, now the Guinean national team also beat Congo to get themselves 3 points with Ghana as well on the league log. And now Morocco on 6 points, Guinea on 3 points, Ghana on 3 points, and then Congo on 0 points. Morocco play Congo in the final group game, and then Ghana will take on Guinea. But Ghana's under-23 coach, Ibrahim Tanko, says inadequate rest for his players was the cause of their disappointing performance against Morocco on Tuesday night. Tanko has therefore attributed the team's defeat to fatigue, citing that a day was not adequate to prepare for Morocco, who had more. He, however, admitted that the team showed a lot of respect, which hunted them in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the bad performance of us, as I said earlier, I think we give them a lot of respect. And yeah, I also said it's not an excuse, but we have a day rest. They have a 2. You could see also from the game of Guinea against Congo how the scoreline was because of Congo also have only 1 day rest. Yeah, but as I said, we still have a chance in this tournament. We still have the last game, so we are going to prepare for that. Yeah, the performance of the referees, I think I can't say much. We have the VAR who is supporting them. So all the decisions they take, I think, is okay. So I think they are doing very well.
Well, that's Ibrahim Tanko, who's coach of the Black Meteors. Now, former Real Madrid midfielder Mateo Kovacic believes that Manchester City is the best club in Europe. He revealed this as part of the first words after joining the citizens from Chelsea Football Club.
I think City is just, at that time, the best club in Europe. And when I heard that they want me, it's a huge recognition for my game and a huge pleasure that such a big club wants you. And as soon as I heard it, of course, to play under Pep Guardiola and with this great team, there was no doubt for me that if it is possible, I would like to be here.
Right, so that's Mateo Kovacic, who has just signed for Manchester City in the to play in the upcoming season, the English Premier League and also in the UEFA Champions League. My name is Yao Ofosulabi, and that's all the sports news this afternoon on Middle Live on TV3.
National Association of Teachers, NAT, has scaled up its commitment to ensuring improved access to treatment for teachers battling cancer. Together with the Sweden-Ghana Medical Center, SGMC, NAT provides teachers and members on pension with free cancer treatment.
Effective this particular year, when you retire and unfortunately something like this thing happens to you, the center will take care of it.
And on top, the Ghana National Association of Teachers also seeks better conditions of service for members in hard-to-reach community, as well as aiding better access to the professional development of members.
Apart from the professional courses, we are going to have programs for our members that members will be moving to Abankro to have a field and also get continual professional development from the institute.
Learn more on TV3. Make a date with NATR every Wednesday at 5:45 p.m. and Sundays at 1:30 p.m. NATR, hope for the Ghanaian teacher.
Nat Hour shows Wednesdays at 5:45 p.m. and on Sundays at 1:30 p.m. on TV3.
Good afternoon. Let's get into some entertainment news updates here on Midday Live. My name is Noella Donko. Now, Ghanaian rap heavyweight Sarkodie has broken his silence over the allegation by Yvonne Nelson that he impregnated her and made her abort the baby. Yvonne Nelson had earlier claimed in her biography, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson, that the man whose potency germinated in her, Sarkodie, refused to accept responsibility. Telling his side of the story in a song titled Try Me, Sarkodie noted that although he wasn't ready for the pregnancy at the time, he told Yvonne Nelson to keep it. Yes, I wasn't ready, but then I told you to keep it, so don't make it seem like I was pushing you for an abortion, lyrics of the song pointed out. Now, he revealed that Yvonne Nelson said she couldn't have kept it because she was in school then and later aborted the pregnancy. To be honest, till date, I don't believe it because I said my doctor should take care of you and you said you don't need it. After the conversation, you sent me a text that a friend of yours said she had a doctor and he is the best. Sarkodie noted in his lyrics.
Still today I don't believe it, cause me cause I'm a doctor, make sure you say you don't need it. After conversation, either you sent me a text, someone down to be what doctor be, but you know he's the best. So don't you make it seem like I was the one pushing you for abortion, cause that be the only part will make a vex. Yeah, someone pay me the ajame. I don't know what that me.
Now, still on the Sarkodie Yvonne Nelson issue, Ghanaian actress Yvonne Nelson has reacted to award-winning rapper Sarkodie's statement concerning her abortion. Now, in a tweet on Wednesday morning, the popular actress queried Sarkodie for using rap to rubbish her pain. She wrote on Twitter, "In my book, I narrated how you got me pregnant, how you couldn't wait for me to get rid of it, how you drove me to have an abortion as usual. You want to use rap to rubbish the pain a young woman felt. We both have daughters. Let's see what life throws at them. Hashtag tried you." Now, in a separate post, she wrote, "Insults won't work, Michael. Respect womanhood. I am happy the world gets to see how you're playing this and the real you. Young women get to learn from this. You would get the applause for the rap. Still doesn't change the truth." Now to some more stories. The Creative Arts Agency has intensified efforts at attracting the needed investment into the Ghanaian music industry. Now, the agency has signed a €500,000 grant with the French government through the French Development Agency to help with royalty collation for music right owners.
Royalty collection in Ghana has been a major issue for many music right owners. Leaders of GAMRO have been criticized over poor performances, and while others have called for their resignation, others have asked them to step up their game. In finding a more positive approach, the Creative Arts Agency, under the auspices of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, have signed a €500,000 grant with the French government through the French Development Agency to help with a login system to generate enough royalties for music right owners. Jankroma Akufuado is the Chief Executive Officer of the Creative Arts Agency.
These are steps towards supporting GAMRO. These are steps towards making sure that GAMRO are efficient and that there isn't a bias, you know, when it comes to royalties, it's not a pick or choose. It's generic for everyone. So this is what steps are towards. And to be able to give GAMRO some more power. You know, they are a powerful position or industry that we have, and they need to be given more support.
Speaking at a media briefing in Accra, French Ambassador His Excellency Jules Amanda Niambosu underscored the need to support the sector for massive economic gains.
We should have in mind that music, like all the creative and cultural industry, is not only about telling stories in a creative way. It's also offering huge growth opportunities. But to make it really professionally happen with all your partners, to find the right way, not only to create activities, to develop the talent, but beyond talent and activity, to create jobs and to grow the economy.
Deputy Minister of Tourism Mark Okreku-Mante believes the partnership will yield a positive result for Ghanaian creatives.
Administrators collect the money for maybe GAMRO or ASO, but they do not know who gets what because there's no data to back that decision making. And so they are here to help. As an expertise, France is here to help with getting the technology on board, sensitizing the industry people The know-how is very important. I am sure that a lot can be learned from them. And then people who deserve what will take monies for their rights.
And that's how we wrap up on the entertainment news segment here on Midday Live. My name is Noella Donko. Enjoy the rest of your holidays. Up next is international news.
Sudan's Army Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has announced a unilateral ceasefire on the first day of the Muslim Eid al-Adha holiday. In a televised address on Tuesday, Burhan also called on young men to defend the country either at home or by joining the armed forces. The conspiracy requires that everyone to be awake and ready to respond to the existential threats to our country. And so we call on all the young men who can defend not to hesitate to play this role either from where he lives or by joining the armed forces.
And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you very much for watching. If you go to our website, 3news.com, all the stories we have for you this afternoon are there as well. My name is Martin Esiedidate. Enjoy the rest of the holiday.